Bitcoin has been around for more than 16 years, and in all that time, it's never been hacked. That's a multi-trillion-dollar network constantly targeted by some of the smartest hackers on the planet, and yet it's still standing. How? Because Bitcoin isn't just digital money, it's one of the most secure networks ever built. Its entire design makes hacking it nearly impossible. Now, here's where people get confused. They hear about crypto hacks and assume Bitcoin got hit, but almost none of those stories have anything to do with the Bitcoin network itself. Sometimes they aren't even hacks at all. What people are usually talking about are security lapses at digital asset service providers, wallet providers, or by users themselves. In other words, human error, not Bitcoin failure. So let's get one thing straight. What actually counts as a hack? A hack means breaking the system itself, usually by finding a flaw in the design and exploiting it. That's never happened to Bitcoin. Compare that to traditional finance. In 2016, hackers breached SWIFT and stole over $80 million from Bangladesh's central bank. 2 years later, Cosmos Bank in India lost $13.5 million through fake SWIFT messages injected into its internal systems. Those are just two examples. Over the past decade, major institutions like Chase, Capital One, and Revolut have all suffered breaches that expose sensitive customer data. It's not that these companies don't take security seriously, they do, but they all share the same weakness: centralized infrastructure. One network, one database, one point of failure that can be attacked. Bitcoin doesn't. That's the difference. It doesn't need banks or payment processors to function. The network runs independently, and that's all possible thanks to blockchain technology, first introduced by Bitcoin when it launched in 2009. Blockchain is the engine that keeps Bitcoin running 24/7. There isn't a single company or server in charge. Instead, it operates across thousands of independent computers called nodes. Each one stores a complete copy of every transaction ever made. So if someone wanted to hack Bitcoin, they'd have to alter every single copy of that record on every node all at once. That's virtually impossible. Now, some people bring up a hypothetical threat: quantum computing. In theory, a powerful enough quantum computer could solve problems so quickly it might break modern encryption, but that's still just a theory, and the crypto world is already well aware of it. Developers and security researchers have been working on quantum-resistant upgrades for years, so even if that threat becomes real someday, Bitcoin is already adapting to stay secure. And that security all starts with math. The word cryptocurrency comes from cryptography, the science of using mathematics to protect information. Bitcoin takes that idea and builds an entire financial system around it. To see how that works in practice, let's look at how you actually hold and use your Bitcoin. Your wallet. Now, this wallet isn't like the one in your pocket. It doesn't store coins because your Bitcoin lives on the blockchain. Your wallet simply holds your private keys, the digital passwords that let you access, send, and spend it. That's what makes it so secure. These keys are protected by encryption, so strong that even if every computer on Earth worked together, it would take longer than the age of the universe to guess just one. How's that for math? And here's a fun fact: there are more possible Bitcoin private keys than there are atoms in the observable universe. Since launching in 2009, Bitcoin has processed hundreds of millions of transactions worth trillions of dollars. It's been running non-stop, 24 hours a day, every day, without a single hour of downtime. No government has shut it down, no hacker has broken it, and despite countless attempts to disrupt it, the network keeps doing exactly what was built to do: run openly, transparently, and reliably. Could it ever be hacked? Only in theory. But if that day ever came, the same technology would threaten every digital system on Earth: banks, governments, and even the internet itself, not just Bitcoin. The real risks are at the edges, where people interact with it. Websites can be hacked, individuals can fall for phishing scams or lose their private keys, but those are human mistakes, not flaws in Bitcoin. Blaming Bitcoin for that is like blaming the dollar for a bank robbery. What makes Bitcoin's security so powerful is that it doesn't rely on trusting any single person, company, or government. It relies on math, transparency, and thousands of independent computers all verifying the same record together. Your bank account is secure because you trust your bank. Bitcoin is secure because you don't have to trust anyone. It's secure by design, but that's no reason for complacency. Keep your passwords strong, your keys private, and your guard up against phishing and scams. Remember, Bitcoin security is built in. Yours comes from staying smart. But what do you think? Is Bitcoin truly unbreakable or just unbeaten so far? Sound off in the comments and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next one.